you are a subscriber to my channel, Notaries for Alabama, I'm sure you've noticed an interesting trend, recent trend. You're seeing content from me targeting notaries in other states. My name is Michelle, and if you aren't an Alabama notary public, chances are you have no idea who I am. I'm a commissioned Alabama notary and have been for almost 20 years. I'm also a notary instructor. And the reason why you, a Oklahoma commissioned notary public, is seeing this video is that I have information for you, especially new Oklahoma notaries, about your state's absentee and mail-in ballot process. I got started on this journey a few weeks ago. Well, to be honest, a few years ago, when I first did a video targeting only Alabama notaries that explained how to properly notarize a voter's signature on the ballot affidavit. Thankfully, a number of Alabama notaries found that video helpful. Since that time, which was 2020, a few things have changed in Alabama concerning absentee voting. One thing in particular that changes a new law that issues strict guidelines that not only notaries need to follow, but other third parties in Alabama as well. And so just about a week ago, I did a live video for Alabama notaries reviewing the proper way to perform that notarization so that there would be no problems at all with that ballot, that voter's ballot counting in the 2024 general election that's coming up on November 5th. Well, after finishing the Alabama video, it got me wondering what happens in other states with other notaries who are called upon to notarize or witness absentee ballots in their states. And that led me to states like California, Alaska, Mississippi, Maine, and a couple of others. So in this video, I want to spend just a few moments showing you extremely helpful information that will help you should you be presented with an Oklahoma absentee ballot. And I can call it extremely interesting. You know why? I'm not being biased because it's not my information, but I commend your state officials for providing so much information outlining what you can and cannot do with regards to absentee and mail-in votes. So right now I want to go ahead and share my screen. I'll do my best to enlarge the information that is on the screen so that you can see it. There will be times I won't be able to enlarge, and so what I'm going to do is make sure I include the link. So again, this is really targeting new Oklahoma notaries who may not have ever seen an absentee ballot affidavit. And who knows, a few of you who are experienced, this may be a first. So your first stop to find information about this should be oklahoma.gov/elections/voters absentee voting. Again, I'll be sure to put a link in the video description below. So this is where I came to. Once you get to that page, you just scroll down. Now, requesting an absentee ballot, this is information really targeting the voter, not so much you, the notary. There's nothing for notaries to do when it comes to requesting a ballot. Then this section gets into the types of absentee ballots. There are at least two types. And then I got to this section here. And this is what really got my interest. This is unusual. You don't see this in every state where a section calls out notary services. And so this here is letting us know that for your convenience, meaning the voter, many banks, credit unions, libraries, businesses, and organizations offer free, I'll be talking about that some more, free absentee ballot notary services to both customers and non-customers. Here's the important thing. In Oklahoma, notaries may not charge a fee to notarize an absentee ballot affidavit, okay? Very important, especially those of you who are notaries who have started a notary business. For this particular notarization, you can only do it for free. So let's see who some of those notaries are. I'm clicking on the Find a Notary button. Find free absentee notary services for your convenience. Many banks, credit unions, libraries, businesses offer these services. Here is the link for financial institutions. Here is a link for all other businesses. I'm not going to go down the entire list, but again, here you go. It is by county where you can go. Very helpful information. I want to go back. This really caught my eye. Other businesses, organizations offering free ballot notary services. If I lived in Oklahoma and I owned a notary business, me seeing this, first thing in my mind is, ooh, how can I get on that list? So I'm going to click here. I'm seeing primarily libraries. Here is looks like maybe a nonprofit organization. Town hall. Now, I'm not going to keep scrolling, but if I did, you will find there are some individual notaries. Let's see if I can find one. Again. All right. This is a business called the Mail Drop. They're going to notarize the absentee ballot affidavit for free. This could be a private company, Walker Company. And this looks to be a independent notary public with their contact information. So notaries who have a notary business, you may want to check into how you can get listed. It's always great to get listed, especially on a .gov website. All right, I don't want to make anyone dizzy, so I'm just going to back up. So those are two links I wanted to point out to you. Again, if you get a phone call from the public asking for your help to notarize the absentee affidavit, and it's something that you're not set up to handle, you could easily refer the voter, the Oklahoma resident, to this website and let them know they have plenty of notaries to call and contact. The thing that made me most excited is this link here. Frequently asked questions for notaries. Again, this is so rare. I'm going to try to get something like this set up for Alabama. Now, granted, they have Q&As that don't pertain to voting, but here are some questions. Are absentee ballot affidavits required to be notarized? For standard absentee ballot affidavits, state law requires an absentee voter's signature to be notarized. My understanding, standard means if someone who is not permanently or temporarily disabled, or someone who's already been approved to always have their ballot completed at home and mailed in or dropped off, they don't have to worry about getting it notarized. But someone, perhaps like me, if I were a resident and found out that my job had me traveling on November 5th and I wouldn't be able to go in to vote, then I would fall under the standard definition, and it would be necessary, especially if I'm mailing in the ballot, to have my signature notarized. And it talks about exceptions here. Can a notary charge a fee to notarize? We've already covered that. No, and they cite where in the Oklahoma Code this is stated. How do you identify the absentee voter? Either you personally know them or from satisfactory evidence, which I'm guessing, I'm sure correctly, government issue ID. But if you needed more information, there's a link on what is satisfactory evidence, and there could be other options as well. So, but I didn't see anything unusual. Is the notary required to keep a record of the absentee ballots that are notarized? Yes. And give some reasons why. Well, let's see here. Yes, state law requires notary to maintain a log of all absentee ballot affidavits that he or she notarizes for a period of at least 2 years after the election. I find that to be interesting. I don't know enough about Oklahoma law to know whether or not notaries are required to keep a journal for other types of notarizations. Otherwise, state law does not specify whether a place of business or entity shall keep and maintain. So this would, I believe, apply to the libraries that we saw on the list. Do they have to maintain information for 2 years, or is it something different? Are there certain persons who are not allowed to notarize an absentee ballot? Yes, and they give examples of that. I found this to be very interesting. Are there limits on the number of absentee ballots a notary may notarize? Yes. State law allows a notary to notarize up to 20 affidavits at a single election. There are some exceptions to that rule, and they talk about those exceptions here. And so those of you who are Oklahoma notaries, I believe that's all that would be listening. This is important. If you get a call from an organization wanting to hire you to notarize a lot of these ballot affidavits, you need to hurry yourself back over here and read the guidelines, the statutes. Must a notary possess a waiver? That's still related to notarizing more than 20 signatures. Again, you can read that. And this isn't surprising to me, even though it is unusual, but in the past, there has been allegations, accusations of perhaps, let's say, John Doe is running for office, and John Doe is well known in his county and is concerned that without his help, there's going to be a lot of folks who don't make it to the polls to vote for John Doe. And so John Doe may organize and coordinate a absentee ballot voting event and hire a notary. And that worries election officials, okay? So that's kind of where that's coming from. Talks about drive-through notarization services. Can a notary request a ballot on behalf of another person? I tell you, they thought up so many great scenarios. I commend them. Can an absentee ballot affidavit be notarized remotely? Yes, for Oklahoma. In my state, Alabama, the answer is no. And check out this last question. Can a notary public provide a postage stamp or an envelope to an absentee voter for the purpose of returning an absentee ballot to the county election board? It's a yes on that. And please don't roll your eyes. I mean, notaries are inclined to want to be helpful. That's most, not all. And so the last thing a notary wants to do is try to do a good deed, only to find out later there's a statute that says they can't do it. So really, I commend them. And by the way, this information on this page was last modified on 10/19/22. So it is not brand new information, but it's the most up-to-date information that is available. There was something else I wanted to cover. Wouldn't you like to see what Oklahoma's absentee voter affidavit looks like? I thought you would. I tried finding this for the other states that I covered in these videos and was not successful. All right, so similar to other states, the affidavit is not a separate document. It is print text printed on the outside of an envelope. And so I believe it's going to be yellow for Oklahoma. And the affidavit is set up so that the voter prints their name here. They wait for the notary to be there with them. So notaries, make sure you watch them sign their name and date. The date is going to be the date they're meeting with you. A notary public in Oklahoma may not charge a fee. So they're reminding you, don't ask this person for any money. And then you, notary, are required to complete the venue, which includes state of Oklahoma, county of, this is where you are meeting the voter, not where you live, unless you're meeting the voter in the county that you live in, that it was subscribed and sworn before you, the notary, on which date. And you would put the date here. Now, in Alabama, we put the day, the month, the year. I don't see where they are requiring that, but what is important is that the date here and the date here match. Your signature, your commission expiration date, your commission number, and then your official notary seal here. I expect someone is going to ask me, Michelle, if all of that information is on my stamp, do I have to retype it? I don't know. I don't know enough about your state requirements. But I do know, I was hoping I can get further down. In Alabama, I would repeat it. So even if my seal had my expiration date, I would still write it in, and I would still write it in. Why take a chance? All right, on the other side of the affidavit envelope, it is reminding the voter to complete and sign the envelope, to enclose the envelope. Inside of the affidavit envelope needs to be the ballot envelope with the ballot in it, and then to seal everything up. So again, these are instructions for the voter, not you. And don't forget about your journal to record everything in. I think that is the only thing I wanted to share on this screen. It contains the actual statute for Oklahoma regarding absentee voting. I'll make sure I include that link. It is one of the hot links on that first page that I showed you. Okay. You'll find a hot links if you click on any of these hyperlinks. I hope that was new information for at least a few of you. And again, applause for all of that excellent information that your state and local government made sure to include on their website. That, I think, is enough information to keep you from making any gross errors or omissions. If you did find it helpful, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, if they are specific questions to Oklahoma absentee voting, I'm really not the best person to ask. You're going to go back to the first website and contact your local elected officials, election officials for your county, so that you can make sure you are getting the most up-to-date and accurate answers. I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know if you have an opportunity to notarize an absentee ballot affidavit in your state for this 2024 election. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for tuning in. Even though you may not be a Alabama Commission Notary Public, if you found this information helpful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. There are times that I will cover a topic that could be of interest to you as well. Thanks again, and make today a great one.